your revenge is success. You have to be successful. That's the only revenge I know. Because when people don't want you to do something that you think is good and valuable, instead of wasting energy trying to fight them, invest the energy in making sure they see the vision you've seen that is making you do what you do.
When a woman knows how much you earn, you have your cards face up. She can't meet demands that you don't have, that you can't meet, because she knows your earning potential.
Whatever it is you're looking for in a man, be sincere about it. If it's his money, let him understand it and you know this is what you want. Most of us want to take more than we can give. You want a man that is this or a woman that is that. What are you putting on the table yourself?
Your partner should know whatever investment you want to do, you want to make, you need to run it by her, and vice versa.
Someone who has never heard of Christianity before or Islam or any other religion, but there's a religion that person knows, and that person grew up in that remote part of the world, worshipping God their own way. You can't tell me that that person is going to hell.
You know, interesting. What I like about this podcast is that I have the latitude not to worry about introductions and opening comments, big clever comments, and all of that.
Okay.
All I can say is that I'm here with two of my favorite people in the world.
Wow!
Fantastic. Welcome to this podcast.
Thank you, Femi.
Isaac and Nneka Moses.
Femi, you're my new favorite person in the world.
He sure knows how to make us feel good.
I loved you guys long before you ever knew of my existence.
Oh dear.
And you were that couple that as a young man back in the day, you're like, I mean, when I first saw your program on AIT,
right,
I'm like, this is the life, man. This is the life. All I just want is a wife who loves to travel.
You know, no, honestly, but I didn't see it coming. Honest truth be told, I didn't see it coming that way. But I just knew that, oh man, this girl is the bomb.
Oh, no, but the thing is that Goge Africa is actually the child of his toast lines. Please, can we open with, let's go for do it. You need to do it. You have to do it. Just do it.
I need to hear
No,
this one.
it's an old rap. You probably know.
It's an old rap that he pinned on me, and my silliness believed in it and hoped that one day he can make it come true, and he did. Oh yeah, sing it.
Let's go for a ride in my shuffle car with imported champagne and caviar. Watch TV, stereo, take you any kind of place that you want to go. We buy clothes of silk and fine jewelry and run up to the parties for everyone to see. And if you want to travel, hey, no sweat. We'll fly up to Paris in my private jet. Just sipping our drinks on a sidewalk cafe and diamond on your finger from Cartier. We'll spend to the end. Don't you worry about it. I'll put it on my credit card. I don't move without it. All this is we are just toast lines.
It still works.
It worked out. I believe, you see, the power of belief. If you believe strongly, I believe that this guy, even though he didn't have a car then, and I just believe that for him to say it, it can come through.
I just had fun in my briefcase.
And Steve.
I mean, if you don't have money, you have to have yams.
I tell you.
Yes.
He didn't have money, but he had yams.
Yes, you know.
So, and you know that's those are classic lines.
It worked on me.
By a particular group. I can't remember the group.
Yeah. But to still remember it that much, you internalized it. So and that's how. See,
it was important for him to internalize it because that's what got him his life partner.
Because that's called professing. He was literally professing.
Can I believe it?
How did you meet?
On the set of a movie?
On the set of a movie. Actually, it was supposed to be a rehearsal. That's where I met her first. And, you know, one thing led to the other. I tried to get into character. And I was a bit, well, some kind of indiscretion. I tried to, kiss her, and she landed me a slap. And
was that in the script?
it wasn't in the script. Okay.
He's not supposed to kiss in this script.
She's supposed to be my girlfriend. So we're rehearsing being boyfriend, girlfriend.
We're rehearsing the lines.
And I was just trying to really get into character. Do you understand? You know how it goes.
I know.
So I tried to kiss her, and she reacted so violently. And,
you were actually getting out of character by trying to kiss me, because that's not what they said, the script.
You reacted so badly, honestly. That slap wasn't part of the script.
It wasn't part of the script?
No, it wasn't.
This kiss wasn't part of the script. So both of you were improvising.
It really called
yes,
to
we
order.
were improvising.
That slap, honestly, it was me that got it. I know how that slap went. It was really, my ear was still tingling. I made up for that. You did anyway.
Thank God for that slap. Thank God for that slap.
Why thanking God for that? It shouldn't have happened.
I mean, look at you. Look at the two of you.
Right.
You know what they say about unions? They're never perfect.
Yeah.
It's not easy to be going strong after
28 years.
Almost
Can
3
I
decades.
ask him something I've always wanted to ask?
Go ahead.
When you kissed me without permission, if I had just given myself to you that easily, you haven't even toasted me, you just looked at me and grabbed me.
No, but I know,
Wait, I know you Nigerian men. Wouldn't you think it was so easy? Even though I didn't think about it before doing it, I just felt insulted.
No, I know I was acting. I was just rehearsing.
But if I
you
had
weren't my girlfriend.
Exactly. So if I had just gotten into character with you,
would have made a perfect,
movie scene.
Yes, that's what it would.
And then thereafter, would you
afterwards?
come back? Because you came back to say you're coming back to apologize.
Yes.
So I said, okay, I forgive you. That was on another day. He came on his own. And then I said, I forgive you. He said, okay, if you know you've forgiven me, can you come on a date? Let me just buy you lunch. And even for buying lunch, she goofed again.
What did you do?
I took her to most guys then. That was their favorite place.
Most guys.
Most of our
Most
friends.
guys.
You took her to a guy's
Mama
family?
Boots.
Amalashita.
Amalashita.
It was famous then. You know Amalashita.
Yes,
exactly. That's my guy.
Are you?
So you don't say anything wrong with
I
that?
took her there, and she was like, all this dressing.
And then he queued up. He looked at me and said, pick a plate. You like it. You know what? I'll even buy you turkey.
It's about her turkey then. You know what that meant now? It was a lot of money, yeah. Turkey.
If you saw me dressed, told my friends I'm going on a date with this new guy. I dressed. I didn't dress for shita. And when I got there, everybody was just looking
End
at
up
me.
in Amala joint.
Amala Jaffa, he goofed again. And you know what?
For me, Shagwarize, them, Patrick Doyle, a lot of these guys.
You know what I said to myself?
You know?
I said, this is it. I knew that this was not the guy.
The truth, you enjoyed the Amala at the end of the day.
That was the first time I ate Amala.
And you enjoyed it, and the turkey too. Say the truth. Because you confessed to me that you really enjoyed it, even though you didn't like the look at the beginning. But when you got down to the real deal, you really enjoyed it.
Let me just forgive you for this 27, 28 years or something. But that's not how to treat a girl that accepted to go out with you when you didn't even have a car. But then he took us on a taxi. I was surprised. But then thereafter, when we started going out, this guy takes me to nightclub and parties on an Okada. Okada.
Look, you see, I was putting my cards face up. So she knew what I could afford and what I couldn't afford. If I don't have money, I take a Okada. If I have money, I'll take a taxi. With that, because I didn't want to come and start giving excuses.
Do you know, these days you can't get a girl.
No.
With that sort of character.
No, I wouldn't.
With that sort of character. Okada, how many girls?
Look on the bright side.
Okay. Exactly.
I mean, these things, you know what they say, we're a collection of our experiences.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it just reminds you that sometimes it's great to be real.
Exactly.
Just be yourself.
I love that.
And that's the one thing both of you have had. Everything you've done on the show. I mean, there was something that radiated about the show. You could tell that these people, I mean, you see the show the first time, the Goge Africa TV show.
Right.
And you're asking yourself, I think the first time I saw the show, I didn't even know you guys were a couple. And you know, then I heard that, they actually married in real life.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, great. And then you're looking at the show like, these people look happy. They look like they're genuinely in love. They look very happy on set.
Yeah.
Are they acting? Or are these really two happy people?
Absolutely, we were
Yes,
happy.
we are.
Let me tell you something.
We are happy.
You are.
We
we
were.
were happy doing the show. We're not even making money.
No, we're not
That's
making
the
money.
truth. We are just, you know,
He was a budding actor and voice
the
artist.
excitement of, this is a new episode. Let's see how people are going to react to this.
it.
So that's in anticipation of people's reaction. Gets us going, and that's how
It was so much fun because we felt we were making people happy.
That's it.
And we're doing something that is worth doing. Because, we've had instances where we got to a filling station, we want to buy fuel. Somebody comes down from his car. Oh, is that you?
Yes.
No,
I'm
let me
paid.
let me pay. Let me
Exactly.
pay. And then we went to Lufthansa airline. Because we were invited by the city of Berlin. In the early days, we were about 3-4 years
For
old.
Carnival de Couture.
So we got there and I was queued up. Those days you have to come with your cash. So we're queued up waiting for our turn. It was a long queue. And then a lady was passing and stopped and said, I think I know you. So I said, no, you don't. Because I felt she wanted to say, please, can I stay in front of you? So I said, no, you don't. She said, you're the culture lady on TV. You are Goge Africa. I said, yes. He said, can you come with me? I said, no, I won't. Because we're taking turns standing up.
Yeah.
So I said, no, you have to come with me, please. Let's go upstairs. I said, okay, when I buy my ticket, I'll come see you upstairs. And then somebody said to me, follow her. Is the manager here? I said, Zach, please take the line. Then I went up. I didn't know what to expect. She said to me, so where are you going? I said, okay, we want to buy a ticket to Berlin. We're going for Carnival de Couture.
Yeah.
So, you want to go to Germany and you want to fly Lufthansa? I'm like,
For real?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He said, please, give me your names. I did. And she wrote some things on a piece of paper and gave it to me. Say, go down, ask for Sike. And give this to him and pick up your tickets. I said, okay, so where do I pay? He said, no, just go there and give. Just mention that Lufthansa took you to Berlin. So I said, okay.
On the
It
show.
didn't click.
Yeah.
I went downstairs. I asked for Sike's window. I went there, I gave it to him. He took a bit of time, gave me tickets, and then I said, thank you. So where do I pay, sir? Somebody that just used his knuckle to shove me aside. I said, they don't give you ticket. They ask which one. Wait till you want pay. Come on for here.
Honestly,
and I took
just
the
like
tickets and I came to Isaac. I said, he said, okay, so he had the money. He said, so where are we paying? I said, they said I should go.
Whoa.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
So, so we were just getting support,
Yes.
but the support didn't come early though.
And honestly, we're so happy. You know how much relief that was?
Oh dear.
We went to Berlin. We were the guests of the city of Berlin. Even after that, we still went back to Ancona. The city of Ancona invited us to show Goge Africa. We've had good times and we're still having good times. We
And
went
really
to,
and truly, they supported us. They
supported
gave
us.
us complimentary tickets whenever we're going to places that were within
that
their
were
route.
within their route.
Whoa.
Yeah,
They were
so-
the first people to just support.
Yeah. So Goge was just fun. We're just
fantastic.
living it up, you know?
You know, I know Isaac loves football a lot, and we talk about football. You know what it feels like? It just feels like playing football because you love playing football.
Exactly.
And getting
then
paid for
getting
it.
paid for it.
You
It's just
know.
glorious, isn't it?
Let me tell you something about when getting paid started. Gradually, some advertising agencies started putting sports in the program. And that was the first income that came in from the show.
Yeah.
Then gradually, some countries would invite us and say, look, we want you to come and promote our country. We see other countries' tourism
show.
on our show. We want you to come and promote. We're paying you this much. Nah. He's beginning to pay.
Money.
You know?
But then before that happened, I remember sleeping in the field
Yes.
after a show in Benin Republic. We don't have money for hotel. We just had enough to cross the border. And we actually started going outside Nigeria because we didn't get the kind of support we needed within. Imagine going for the first cultural day event we went for was Akwa Ibom Cultural Day celebration. I can't forget, it was at TBS.
Yeah.
We came in, and then we're like recording, and then they came and said, "Who are you? This is not NTA." "Oh yeah, out." They drove us out, and we stood outside the gate.
Yes.
And we're saying we can't go because we spent money to get here. Just can't go. So we now saw Obot Etuk.
Yeah.
Obot now said, my people, what are you doing here? Say, we've come for your cultural day, but they drove us outside. They don't want us to record anything. They say, come. She took us inside and made it possible. We recorded. And then at the end of the day, when we edited and put it on TV, they saw it and they started us asking Obot to please get in touch with us. They want a copy of that.
And almost the same incident with the Jaja of Opobo.
Yeah.
When we heard that it was going to be the coronation of the Jaja of Opobo, we said, this same Jaja that we hear in history book,
We have to
that
go.
we read up in history books, we have to go. But then it was getting close to Christmas. There was no cameraman. They've all gone on their holidays. So we said, okay, let's go. We hopped on a plane, got to Port Harcourt. She was the camera person. On getting to Port Harcourt, we found out that, look, we had to go by water.
About
Go to
Corner
a place
Waterside,
called
Corner-
Corner Waterside. Got on a boat heading to Opobo. And a lady said, they can't let us
That
in.
I can't go.
That she can't go in. That she's,
Into Opobo.
that she's wearing a jeans, that you have to have a wrapper, for a lady.
and I didn't come with any wrapper. According to their culture, every woman has to tie wrapper. You don't wear trousers. At the time, this was
Yes.
like 20-something years ago, yes. So she gave me her wrapper.
And guess who the lady was? She was the SSG,
Secretary to the state government
of
at the
River
time.
State, yeah.
River State.
At the time.
At the time. And I
yes.
didn't know her.
Belgium, yeah.
Yes,
somebody
something Belgium. So she gave me her wrapper. And she said when we're leaving, I should ask for her and return
And
it.
her back.
And I did.
So now, at Opobo, we did all the recording. We were not particularly invited.
Nobody invited
us. But getting there, people were very friendly, very hospitable.
But the
Because one of
cameramen
the-
were not friendly to
Yeah.
me. They were all big and tall, and it was
Yes.
just little me trying to find a space. And the Jaja who didn't invite us,
Notice a lady
Noticed, he
cameraman.
they were about to cry. He said, "Hold on, can the lady camera girl there tell her to come forward?" I said, I don't commit. So I just took my camera and I was stepping forward. They said, "No, come. He said, "You should come, go." I went there and said, "Where do you want to stay?" I said, "Here." He said, "Stay here."
Yeah.
So I was able to record it because they were really, I tried, NTA people will push me down. It's, all this, because they are big and they had this.
Big cameras.
massive.
Yes. So we recorded that, put it on air. At the time we were on
MS Minaj Systems.
we were on this
AIT,
TV
NTA,
channel in London as well.
London,
So
OBE London. Okay.
one day, the Jaja called and said that people have been commending what we did, and it was
Our
only
production.
ours that people were giving him feedback on.
about?
Other people was just giving news flash. And he said, "Please send me your account number." We did.
And that was the beginning of our relationship with
the Jaja.
Jaja.
Even when we gave birth, he came to Lagos for his naming ceremony.
Yeah.
He's been like a father to us.
So the whole thing was fun. It wasn't really with the
Intention to make money like that,
We're just
you know.
having
We just
fun.
wanted to have fun.
We go there, we meet people who watch our show, and they're all willing to host you, buy you lunch, buy you this, So it's, some people make costumes for us. So it's
One time we missed our flight, our train in
that was in Germany, right?
in Germany, yes.
Yeah, Frankfurt.
And then we are now trying to make calls. Where do we spend the night? What do we do? Let's find the nearest hotel. And one guy
So we'll
came
not
and-
miss the train
So we
again.
don't
It
miss
was
the
just
train
5
again.
minutes. 5
Yes, we
minutes.
saw the train moving.
They won't let
and
us
they
in.
won't stop.
Yeah.
So the guy tapped me. I said, "Excuse me, I'm on a call." Goge. And I'm like,
And does it
anyway,
dance in
do you know
Germany?
what? In Germany,
Yeah.
this guy said he came in from London to buy cars to send to Nigeria. I said, "Please, what is it?" I explained everything. I took him to, I said, "So yeah," took us to a hotel, paid, took us to have lunch. And I said, "Why are you doing all this?" He said, "You don't know what you've done for me. The only thing you have to give me in return." I said, "Hey, we don't reach." He said, can I take a picture with you?
Whoa,
I just
so
want
he would
my
show his
wife
won't
to know
really know that he
that's
saw
what
us. I say, oh, shoot.
I said, only that? He said, yes. I will take a picture with him.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing journey.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful stories.
Plenty.
If I hear any more, I'm going to break down and cry.
Okay.
Yeah, I said, okay,
Tell him the one that will scare him.
there was a time the landlord, actually, because we were
started-
just having fun. Not thinking
we're not
about how to
earning.
monetize. We're not making money until the landlord really shook us up by saying that, look, we'll have to leave his apartment and all that.
And we didn't have money to pay.
And we didn't have money.
Because I was doing my small
My celebrity tenant.
I'm
telling
telling you.
Period,
No,
right?
I was still doing voiceovers.
He was
on the
doing
side.
voiceovers and
Yeah.
acting.
Yes, but Goge was taking most of our time and all that. So, but we still were not making money, but not making enough from the voiceover because I wasn't always available again to do voiceovers. Then I had a pager that would always,
Beep.
beep, and I know there's a job. But this time, when the landlord started putting the heat on us, wow,
We didn't have money to
we
pay.
didn't have money.
Even when we
It
make
was-
money, we actually invested in show. We're like,
Sure,
let's
yes.
go to Kaduna. Let's go to this place. Oh, I hear there's a festival there because nobody's inviting us.
Exactly.
So we invite ourselves, go there by ourselves. When we can afford it, we pay for hotel. When we can't, we sleep on the field and run home the next morning.
Exactly.
So
Then MultiChoice came and wanted to acquire the program. And that was another...
I think that was a big flip for
Yeah,
us.
it was a big flip. So funds came, we had to pay the studio.
Because we were in
doing
the
our
studio and they said they weren't going to
post-production.
edit anymore.
They're going to stop us from subsequent
They
edits.
seized our tapes
Seized
now,
our
remember?
master tape, And wow, when this money came,
We felt like we were millionaires.
yes, somebody actually advised me, said, look, you don't have to, if you pay your debts, that means you'll never be rich. No, you don't have to pay them. Move to another studio. I said, no. I'll have to pay them. Let me pay them. Let me know how much I have left that's really mine,
Yeah.
so I can move about freely. So we paid them, paid the editor, the studio, everybody paid house rent, and still had some change. And we felt really good, that the program eventually is paying off.
Yeah.
And, then one day, because it went now, Africa Magic acquired it, then one day we got a letter. The president of Gambia wanted us as
To be his guest.
As his guest. Whoa.
And was asking if he should
Who was
send
that
us.
then?
It was
It was
Jermaine.
Jermaine.
Oh,
Yeah, Jermaine, yeah.
And asking if he was if you could send a
us
private jet to pick us up. And then I said, that red flag. I said, a private jet meant they could arrange to have you just,
We want to come on a public
let's go in
plane.
public plane.
We were very
Everybody-
suspicious.
It's a private jet will be just us. No, let's go in a public flight where everybody else, So we accepted. We came by public flight, regular scheduled flight.
But they picked us from the door of the flight.
So,
People, his
as-
orderlies and
being a guest, that was the first time I was a guest
of the president of a country.
Mr. President, and everybody was falling over themselves to impress you. People, and I said, wow, this is what these people enjoy.
And then each hotel they put us in, they said, do whatever you want, just write
Just like
H-E
HE,
to
His Excellency.
Excellent.
So they know that's the
HE.
bill for His Excellency.
For his-
So you know how that felt.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh,
plenty
yes.
stories. You should be asking the questions. We're not talking against Let me
But
get you.
honestly, it was a fun ride.
What
Yeah.
a journey.
Yes,
Yeah.
What a journey.
Yeah.
And it all started
Like joke.
because this guy tried to kiss
Kiss
this
this.
girl.
Yes.
And she did what she had
To do.
to do. If you, like my mother, there's this slang my mother used to call that, dirty, is it dirty slang?
Eh.
Was it backhand?
No, it was frontal.
I made sure.
Frontal, but I can't forget it.
But I've never been insulted like that all my life. Imagine.
So
We're acting.
when did you
I'm not an
when did
actress,
you
so
go
that is
from there to the rhyme, the rap?
No, when he now came to apologize after the whole shoot, he came on a different day to apologize. And I said, no, is that why you came to our house? No, because our house was the location they used. So I said, no, it's okay. I forgive you. It's okay. If you're sure you forgive me, let me take you on a dinner date or lunch date. I said, okay. because he said if I don't accept that, that means I've not forgiven him. So we went.
So did you agree to lunch or dinner? Lunch
now.
And then you end up at Shita.
It was Shita. So he just keeps doing all the wrong things. And you know, when I came back from that Shita lunch, my friends, how did he go? Where did he take you? Is it? I said, no, it's just an African thing. He said, hey, is it Afis? You know, somewhere.
Yeah, you know Afis, right?
I said, no. He said, where now? Oh, tell me. I said, I'd rather not. He said, hey. You know, I couldn't bring myself to tell them that I went to Amalashita with a guy that is supposed to be, you know, I felt so disrespected. So
you didn't tell your friends?
No, I didn't tell them where. I said, it's just one new restaurant. I can't remember the name. I felt so ashamed of myself. It's okay, when I used to see him again, I said, never.
But guess what? Amala is now one of our favorite meals.
Yes, it is.
She actually would ask me, can I get Amala from somewhere? You know, there's a studio I usually go to do voice work. And she said, okay, that just beside that studio, there's an Amala joint there. Very good.
This guy now started coming to me. He started stalking me.
Last week even, I had to.
I stop confessing.
I went to do a job and
you bought me Amala Shita because it's cheaper. Come and buy me a restaurant.
Those guys are not cheap.
No,
that
restaurants
are not cheap. Okay.
But Shai, you didn't do well at the initial start.
Well.
So
when my voiceover fee was 3,000 naira. What were you expecting?
God.
Yes. Back in the day. I mean, you know how this thing goes.
He started stalking me, coming to my office. Well, I didn't have an office. It was a shop.
Yeah, she had a boutique.
I've had a small boutique. He would come there and...
As a matter of fact,
he started
became our address.
Yes. He started singing his Let's Go for a Ride. I'm a chauffeur car.
Yes, now.
So that's an interesting part, because I know, Nneka, apart from being a heritologist, you are also a fashion person.
Fashion first.
Yeah, fashion design.
Yes.
Fashion. I was wondering, because I used to wonder who designed your attire, your costumes.
I do all the time.
But you know one thing, as we continue the show,
other designers
say, let me give you my clothes
to wear.
Even when I'm wearing a designer t-shirt, like that. Even there's a guy from Ghana, Nalem.
There's Nalem. There's Sister Box from South Africa. There's Arewa in Nigeria. There's even the father members.
There's a guy called Efam in Enugu. Yes, he would make clothes and send.
There's Modella. There's Franco Sodi. Frank actually made our wedding gown, remember?
Exactly, he did.
There's so many of them that we now work with. And most countries, when we go to their place, some of their designers will say, okay, let me give you what to wear.
Yeah.
But what I'm wearing now is Ashoke, by the way. And there's my mother's old Ashoke that I decided to turn into a pant. And this was by an artist,
Yeah, sure.
And this morning I just cut this and put it on top of him.
You look gorgeous in that.
Thank you.
You should do more of this. I mean, it's just brilliant.
Thank
you.
You know, coming into this conversation, I had a list of questions I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
And you know, the conversation so far has been far more enjoyable than any question that I would have asked you.
We're going with the flow.
Did you feel seriously endangered on any of your travels? Or did you have a scary incident?
Plenty. If we go into that, some people might not want to, give a shot at, being a travel entrepreneur. Do you know that there was this place we visited in Ethiopia? The monks, live there, and we're
up in the mountain.
Yeah, up in the mountain. We're warned by 6 we should have left. So we had to come. Bahelda, yes. We had to come on a boat, speedboat, to the place. But we've been told that we must leave there before 6. But getting to the place, we got carried away. We've seen lots of things we needed to interrogate, interviews here and there, and it was quite exciting. We forgot. It went past 6, and all of a sudden the skies went dark. And we remembered, we need to leave here before.
And our tour guide was warning us, actually.
Yeah. So as soon as we got on the boat, before we have hardly even moved, when it started raining thunder, lightning, everything, and the tour, not the tour guide, the captain of the boat, lost his bearing because the waves would carry us,
would throw us up
and slam us.
Bam! And water was coming in, and I had my young son. He was about 3 or 4 then. I had this Ugandan girl. Kamara Chikamara, yes. We had this Ugandan girl that was interning with us from Uganda. Then the 2 camera persons and
tour guide. Look, and then water was coming into the boat. So we could actually have sunk.
Yes.
But we're just, getting our water from the boat. Yes. And at the same time, it will go up again.
The waves will take us up.
What was the reaction of your team? Was that just coincidence or because...
No.
There was a strange person at
that time. You don't sail at that time. They'll tell you when to.
The terrain.
So but we said no. And then, my crew, I'm sure they have their own testimonies, but it wasn't fun. The monk seated beside me, he just had the stick like this and he was quiet. So I held him on the leg and he just did me like this, like calm down. So the first thing that came to my mind after all of that is I just started singing, just praising God, singing. Because my mother said, okay, if this is how we're going to die anyway. So I might as well just sing because I couldn't pray. Sometimes you need some articulation to pray. But for singing, you just sing and praise God.
It was all wet.
We're all wet.
That was, in the middle of
and at the end of
after
a long while, it calmed down.
It was calm.
And
then the captain was able to redirect the boat to the usual course.
Yeah.
And eventually, we got ashore. And
that was a close shave.
You started to hear word afterwards.
I'm telling you.
What about the impenetrable forest in Uganda?
Hey.
Those gorillas? Face to face, you can't even look at him. Look at the gorillas.
I can also tell you that because I would have said, if we give it all out here, what are we going to be saying in our own podcast? But we can tell you there are too many stories.
Too many.
We went to the impenetrable forest in Uganda. It's called Buindi.
Yeah.
For you to go there, you have to book 6 months ahead. And it costs about $600 per person.
Yeah.
So when we got there were more of white people. They like that sort of adventure.
Because we were, guests who...
We were guests of the government of Uganda. Yeah. So we got into the forest. First, you don't have to... You can't wear anything that is bright. You can't make sharp movements.
No perfume.
No perfume. And if you're a woman, your menstruation, your period, you can't go. So we came in. And while we had to walk, you look for the gorilla. It is not caged. You're in the same forest with
the natural habitat.
Yes, it could be snake, it could be anything. Just expect anything. So while we were going seeking for the gorilla, we saw the dump. It's okay, we're getting close. The tour guide should say this is fresh. This was either this morning or late at night.
Was it just a tour guide? It was a ranger.
It was we had 2 rangers at the back with gun, and one in front, and another one with us, talking us through the whole process. So eventually, let me just cut through the long trail. We got to where it is. You see these flies that follows it everywhere. They say, okay, it is near. That we just have to be calm. No sharp movement, no matter what happens.
No eye contact.
No eye contact with the gorilla. So the next thing, some smaller gorillas will just jump out of the bush, pull your ear, this one will hit your head. And when they do it, they jump in just like some naughty kids. And then while they were doing it, we were confused. We didn't know what to do. They just say, stay where you are and keep calm. And then the next one, we heard the voice, whoa, loud like that. And then once that thing happened,
Silverback.
all those... Yes, that was a silverback gorilla. All those ones that are jumping and being cheeky with us, they disappeared. We didn't see them.
King Kong.
King Kong.
Seriously.
And then suddenly, another one came from our back. We weren't expecting it. A big one with a child. I knew it was with a child because when it came, people started falling. I fell down. It went like this over me, and I saw the baby he was holding. And then, pum! Once that happened, we stood up and I'm like, can we leave here?
Mrs. Kong.
Mrs. Kong stepped over me. Then what happened? The next thing we just saw the silverback coming. He said, put your faces down. We put our faces down. It came.
That's his territory.
Looked at us, climbed up a little bit, sat down, and started eating. They said he has settled down. Take your pictures, do whatever you want to do. Don't go close to it. Don't look at it. Don't stand in its way. All those, we say we hear. So I now stood there. This white guy.
Were you able to use flashlights or?
We had a camera. It's bright. It's in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So the gorilla would be like down there, and I just came in front of it. I said, record. I'm like, okay, we're now in, because you're not supposed to. And then there's this white guy who came and sat by me. And while I was talking, I looked back. I saw the thing stood up. You need to see that footage. I just went, pew! I escaped. I just, pew! I moved away. Then the white guy, before the thing had come near, he too. Then my cameraman, my bold cameraman, stood with the camera. You know, he came there. This guy is tall and big. George. He just used his elbow. Over. Pew! We saw George go up with the camera. And then, boom. He now took a walk. That's the silverback. Went into the forest.
Yeah.
And they told us that it's over. Show is over.
Yeah.
And we never saw him again. And then we started looking for George, and George started looking for his camera. We found both and we left.
Yeah.
Okay. So when are you going to?
What about the tour guide who wrote that was at
spare him. Ask us some questions. No, spare him.
It was Taraba, right?
In Taraba. Yeah, another incident.
This guy was supposed to be our tour guide. We were at Gimbu. That is at the peak of
that's the highest point in Nigeria.
Of the hills there. Mountain. It's a mountain.
It's a mountain, yeah.
I don't know what happened to that guy. The guy slipped.
No, but tell him what he was telling us.
He was actually telling us that, look, here, we have to be very careful, that if you slip here, you could end up at the foot of the mountain. I don't know what happened.
As he was saying that, he slipped.
He slipped.
So I'm like, why is he showing us? We didn't click.
It was a show, part of the show. It was just rolling.
You know, but you thought he was trying to give you a practical example of what happened to you.
Honestly.
Exactly.
Oh, good
so I said, does he love his job that much? How many times has he fallen off this place?
The guy broke his back.
He broke his rib, actually. Yes, 2 ribs.
No.
Oh dear.
And
so we're up there looking down at him. We didn't know what to do. The cameraman too, did he catch it?
He didn't record it.
Because when the guy started falling, he was like, he started using his eyes on the camera. But then that's the difference between then and now. Now people will put their camera and watch you die.
Yeah.
So he put down the camera thinking of what do we do? What's going on?
I'm telling you, a lot of things, experiences.
We've had a lot
good
of
ones.
Yeah. A lot of near-death experiences too, yeah.
Are you cataloging these things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're writing our book. Our podcast is coming on.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Okay.
I mean, you mentioned camera. You had to wait 13 years.
Yeah.
It was divine. Yeah, we had to wait. The first one came.
We lost
it. And
8 months.
Yeah.
8 months
of pregnancy.
2 weeks, yes. 8 months. 8 months. It was really 8 months, yes.
What does that feel like? To lose your pregnancy at 8 months? You're already entering EDD's territory.
Yeah.
He was actually going to...
I had a show in Abuja.
No, it wasn't a show. It was... Rose was getting married.
Yes.
Her younger sister in Abuja. So he was going to go for that. At the time, we didn't have a lot of money. So he's going by road. So I wanted to go with him. So he said no. So I went to the doctor to say, please, can you certify that I can travel? He checked me, said no. That the water level is already low. Anything can happen anytime. Just stay, let him go. In fact, maybe before he comes back, he would have given birth. So I stayed back. And yeah, the baby, he was still with him. Yeah, it happened. That's the part I don't like talking about, really. It happened, so we lost the baby, and and it took us a while. And I was in coma for like 5 days, and
it's a terrible experience, man.
Yeah. Can we skip that part?
Yes, please.
For now.
Yes, please. For me, the good part was when I heard of the story. I also heard about how Isaac was there. and how his presence helped you cope with such traumatic times.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Just happy when you look back and you look at the life you've led, the journeys you've undertaken, how Goge Africa became such a big thing. And I think this conversation is important because young people, you tell them this story, some may not even believe them. And some of the cultural things that we appreciated, all those years ago, times have changed.
Absolutely.
People value other things now. It's
Surely.
almost like sacrificing on the altar of a foreign god now, because, and I don't mean religion in any way. People worship other things now.
Yeah,
They worship all kinds of buffoonery on social media. But these are timeless, treasured stories that have to be told. I was just wondering if there was a recent celebration, 25th anniversary of Goge Africa.
Yeah.
Goge turned 25th. 25
how did that
years.
go?
Last year
Went very well. It
went very well. Lots of lessons learned. It's for me. I think it was like the peak of it, because when we started, we're not looking at 25 years later we're gonna do this. So if I woke up one day and he said, we'll be 25, you know. So yeah, it's people showed a lot of love, and people also, it's good to have the hate element, because that's what propels you. And I keep telling younger people, I say, your revenge is success. You have to be successful.
That's right.
That's the only revenge I know. Because when people don't want you to do something that you think is good and valuable, instead of wasting energy trying to fight them, invest the energy in making sure they see the vision you've seen that is making you do what you do. And that's what we did with Goge Africa, because the fight was from day one, when we were told that Goge Africa is fetish and unfit
For broadcast.
That's another story altogether.
Yeah. Oh, it's fetish. It's this. It's not fit for broadcast on national television. That's what a lady wrote.
A lady in position.
When we presented the show for them to acquire.
And I framed that letter.
So,
Because when we looked at it, we said to each other, we didn't feel bad. And we didn't see her as an enemy. It's okay. This is the reason we really had to do this show. Because if someone in her position believes that our culture, our heritage
it's fetish.
is fetish and is not fit for the nation to see it, then we have a job to do for real. So we now went headstrong and put our mouth where our money is, or put our money where our mouth is, whichever way.
You inspired a whole new generation of people who took travel and tours to
the next level.
I had a friend, Shimite Nwakalo.
Yeah, Shimite.
Shimite, when she wanted to start,
Start with African ports.
Yes.
Agatha's sister.
Agatha's sister. Yes.
Yes.
And I was in Ibadan all those years, so I used to render a lot of critical support to her.
Thank you.
When
Nice one.
she would come, spend considerable time together. I was literally her liaison, and she had to, and then I saw what Shimita was doing. She also had support from, I think, what airlines was that? Was that Kenya?
Kenya.
Yes.
Airlines had support, and she was looking at mostly food and all of that, but and it occurred to me that both of you had inspired young people to want to tell African stories.
Oh, yes.
Shimita became Shimita Katung. Later when she got married.
Yes, she got married.
Yeah.
And that's just one example.
That's right.
Multiple others.
Several others. There's this lady also, Bassi, from the eyes of an African. She was also
Is she
telling the
still
Africans to,
on?
no, I'm not sure.
That's the thing. You see, there isn't a lot of support or funding or even the moral support for people who are into culture promotion, heritage promotion, and tourism.
Yeah.
So you find that even the much younger ones now, they come into it without enough orientation.
You get
They get on Instagram and post enough pictures, but how do you make the money? How do you sustain this? A lot of them don't know. So I think that was what inspired us to start the Goge Africa tourism training.
Yes.
We've trained quite a number of people, and I'm happy to say that some of them we consider them as successors, because there is no success without successors. So a lot of them are well positioned. One of our boys is now the essay on tourism to a governor. Then we have the one that got scholarship, is in Austria.
Yeah.
We have those that have established their own businesses and they are doing so well.
Tourism business, yeah.
Yes. Some of them are actually doing very well online now, because our tourism training actually encompasses not just entrepreneurship, but how to market, even interpersonal skills.
And the tax system as well.
We get in the tax man, our tax consultant, to tell them you have to pay your tax. So there's so much we put into it. And the beautiful part is it's free. We don't charge them. We go out to look for those that can support us to, train them.
That,
Some of the trainings are 2 weeks and we put them in hotel. Some of them are like 1 week crash course. We still do experiential with them.
Yeah.
And all of. So yes, we didn't have the support. The people now they still don't have enough support. That's why we are turning around to start doing what should have been done for us. So we're doing it for our younger ones.
Because right now, getting started in a tourism business is a lot easier than it used to be back then.
Yes.
Because there's social media, you can Google this, you
Google where you're going.
Yes.
For us, sometimes to get to a destination, they say, oh, sorry, the festival happened 2 days ago. Yeah. You write a letter. Before a letter gets there. You remember when we started, we had this interview with the NIPOST.
Oh yes, NIPOST DG.
DG, somebody Argungu,
yes.
who later died in a plane crash.
Yes,
remember?
Yes.
Good.
I remember.
He told us that letters, if you write Benin Republic, the letter goes to France.
And then it's routed back.
Back to Benin. But then you just cross the border. That is Benin.
Yeah.
But their letters don't go direct. It goes to France. So Argungu was one of those. Yes, was that made it possible for letters to start going direct. But at the time when we conducted that interview with him, he said, "This is what is going on."
To France and then
their colonial master before they route it back. So letters take within a month.
So if there's an emergency, you can't even.
And for us,
vestiges of colonialism.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
probably meaning that somebody had to check what was written.
Perhaps. I'm sure that's what it is.
Yeah.
So we didn't have the privilege of Google where we're going. We didn't even have the privilege of, hello, I'm at the airport. Can you pick me up now? So communication, there was no cell phones.
Yeah.
After a while, there was this one they called mobile phone that uses satellite.
Yeah, Turaya.
But we're not buoyant enough to have not 9 knots.
Then
yeah,
you had to be big to
have that.
It was a status thing.
It was a struggle actually trying to put a program together then, just like it is now. Forget the Band A or Band B. We still struggle with NEPA then.
Electricity.
Electricity was a big issue. You buy your.
But the good thing now is, if you wish to send your content to any station, both locally, outside, just you upload. They go. I mean, you could send them a link and they download their file. But then we have to physically send the tip. You might what's the tip?
Betacam. We use Betacam.
No, we didn't use Betacam.
Mini DV. We started with Betacam.
Mini
DV. That was Umatic.
Yeah, it was we said it was a DV cam that we started with. Yes. So it was very.
And you have to physically. You sometimes
the airline
you see
will help us courier to AIT in Abuja.
Now
it was but now
everything you just upload.
How much of those works do you still have?
We still have a lot
of them.
Oh yes, we have a lot of them.
We have even digitized them. We're still in the
Beautiful.
process of digitization. Yes. Yes.
And then you have, people come from outside and they want to partner with you to meet some artists in Nigeria. There's like some guys came from New York that they want to meet. They want us to take them
to meet Ellen Atsui.
To meet Ellen Atsui. He's an artist. Yeah. And
used to lecture in Enugu.
Yeah. I think it was Nsukka.
Nsukka, yes. We did a lot of, we still do a lot of collaborations with people coming from the outside, because I think what God has also done for us is being able to help us build this brand name, that integrity is part of what we've been able to have. Integrity is very important. So people feel good to work with us. They feel safe to work with us.
Yeah.
So they reach out to us even from outside the country.
I feel so honored when someone I have not met, paying for a tour without meeting me, just pays in the money and he goes on the tour and accepts and believes that everything will go fine.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, but people don't easily trust putting their money into an account without getting to know you. But we enjoy that privilege.
Say, no, I know you. You are Goge Africa. Yeah. I've heard about you. I went online. They believe.
Yeah, and we of course try to maintain that level of trust.
Zach, do you remember just before COVID, we had about 40 people who paid us for a cruise?
Yes.
And when COVID hit,
refunding money.
We refunded all their money.
Oh dear.
Everything to the penny.
Yeah.
And each time we say we want to do this, they are the first to come.
Yeah.
Because they thought that would have been a big issue, refunding their money. Yeah. We are not going with it. We don't know when it will be over. So they say, okay, let's have our money at least. Nobody is working. Everybody needs every penny. Back.
And I asked myself, what would I have, if I was in their shoes, what would I do? I probably would ask for my money.
And most recently, there was a tour we put together it's to America though. And most people paid for it. They needed dates for their visa interviews.
And couldn't get
dates. My boss is the one that said, give them back their money.
Yes.
When America is ready to receive people, then we can visit that conversation again.
Yeah, it was for a cruise we had planned, a Caribbean cruise. And the cruise ship would take off from the US in Miami. So if you have to go on that cruise, you'd have to have an American visa. So, and a lot of people who paid for the cruise could not get an American date, a date for an interview.
Those that were able to go are only those that had American visas.
Yes.
So, but the others, he said, let's give them their thing. I called them, please. Your money. Why? Wait now. Hold your money.
Yeah.
When the scenario changes, we'll reach back at you.
Sure.
Integrity.
That's all we have, actually.
You did something spontaneous now. You pointed to him and said, my boss said I should. Who are you referring to? Him.
When it's 6 o'clock, he's my guy.
Sometimes she refers to me as her boss.
During work hours. I did that.
Yeah, but honestly, truth be told, I'm not her boss. We're a team. Yeah. But she's always very modest.
As a matter of, if you know what's good for you, you will know she's the actual boss.
But you're the head now.
She's very modest.
And you are the neck that carries the head.
Yes.
Well, it's a job.
What would you tell young people about marriage today?
I'll tell them that marriage is enjoyable if you are sincere. Whatever it is you're looking for in a man, be sincere about it. If it's his money, let him understand it and this is what you want. And it's obvious that when the money is not there, then you don't have a contract, because marriage is actually a contract. I came into my own marriage looking for happiness. I just wanted to be happy. As if he knew it. When he was toasting, he kept telling me, I want to make you happy. And at that time in my life, I didn't want to be married. I didn't want to be married.
And when you had those raps, let's go for a ride in my shuffle car.
Yeah,
with imported champagne.
I wanted to go for a ride. Do you understand? I didn't know the car would park anywhere. I just wanted to go for a ride. And I'm still on that roller coaster. Sincerity is very important in any relationship. And most of us want to take more than we can give. You want a man that is this or a woman that is that. What are you putting on the table yourself? It's not about a woman doing everything or a man doing everything. It's a relationship. In the house, for instance, it's teamwork. I'm not ashamed to say that. I don't take my multivitamins. They say that a woman should, and it's his fault because Isaac is the doctor in the house. Have you eaten?
Remind you to take your multivitamins.
How many people?
Does that make me a doctor?
Yeah, no. It's like the tag I've given him. You're like, no, okay, take this vitamin C. You sneezed yesterday night. Take this. Then he doesn't stop there. He brings water. I'll say, wait, now let me just finish dressing up. Say, no, take it now.
You're supposed to be taking after breakfast.
It's immediately after breakfast. You take it now. My son is sick. It's him. Anybody in my house, it's him.
People have this.
He has taken that responsibility
about prescription from the doctor. They give you the drugs. Take it as instructed. That way, you'll be sure your sickness would be healed, right?
Yes.
But they won't take it 1 or 2 days. They abandon it.
I'm telling them your good side. I'll still tell them your bad side.
Okay.
Now, the other thing is, he is our pastor.
Got to pray to make it.
Have you prayed? Oh yeah, come, let's pray together. Call the kids. We pray together. So we now shared it. My son handles morning prayers. My daughter Njideka handles evening prayers. So, and in between, when they pray, he can now interject on me. And when they are in boarding house, if I just stand up and I'm moving, I'm opening the door. Have you prayed? So that's him. Okay, there are other things about him that is really great that I can't share. But on the flip side, I'll tell them. You see, I pick up after him. If we get home now, he can just remove this shirt and toss it down and stay downstairs and finish watching TV and walk upstairs and forget that he's tossed. So I pick up after him and then I meticulously, most times, put out what I want him to wear. I set it as a trap because Isaac will go to the wardrobe like this, put his hand and pull out anything and he'll wear it. Yes. And then he'll take any shoes he like. I say, this shoe doesn't match. He say, no, forget that. I just want to be comfortable. I'm not dressing for anybody. You like me, Abby?
Yes.
Is it not me? It's just me and you. Forget those people. Nobody else matters. I said, but you have to look good now. So when we go, let's say we're in America, we're shopping or anywhere, he enjoys going to the vitamin store.
Yes.
To pick up, say, this will be good for my wife. This will be good for me. And then I want to shop for clothes and perfume. That's me. It's so bad that at the church, so one lady came to me and say, madam, you need to buy this. This is good for that. Every woman at this age will take it at that. So I said, okay, let's go and meet my husband. He said, take the ones you want to meet him for payment. I said, no, he's the one that knows the one that I need. I probably have some of them, I don't know. And she looked at me like this, say, what are you talking about? She now pinched the woman by herself, hear her. I said, no, let's just go. I really like what you said and I want to buy. We went there, I said, take. He looked, I said, no, now you have this. This is one I give you in the morning. Let me see. Okay, we'll pick this one. I've not heard of it before. And the women were like, So you see, the point I'm trying to make with all this long talk is find the strength your man has or your woman has and try and build on it. Support him. When you talked about Goge Africa, it wasn't Goge he called. He wanted to do a radio show. I said, that's a good idea. But do it on TV so that people can see my fine designs. And that way I can make more sales.
He said he was going to clothe me.
Yes.
You know?
So he said, okay, well, you sell male and female, don't you? I said, he said, come, you will be the female anchor. And so you see, one thing led to the other. But we try to be as sincere and as open as possible to each other because that makes it easy for us. I know how much he earns even before we started working together. He'll make money from voiceover. He'll give me to keep. That he used one microfinance bank.
Not microfinance, Commerce Bank.
Commerce Bank. And they folded up.
With them.
So he said to me,
I became wary of banks.
that was 20-something years ago. He said he's not going to put his money
You know
in
that
bank.
Commerce Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cooperative and Commerce
Well, yeah,
Bank.
went
Commerce
under.
Bank. He went under.
Yeah.
So
what he now was doing is any money he makes, he brings to me. Then, when married. So I bought a notebook because I am a bit meticulous, not too, just a little bit.
Became his auditor and accountant.
yeah.
I'll put today from Love Is Not Enough, from this movie, Amaka Igwe's movie. I'll write how much. From voiceover, I'll write. So one day he was telling me, he saw this house, so he wants to rent. It's one room, but it's self-contained. Then he didn't have a house, he was squatting. But that the money is too much. He wished he had enough. I said, how much did you call it?
No, you didn't.
I said, you have enough.
No, wait. I wasn't squatting. I was staying in a hotel.
Yeah,
I was
well,
paying every
he pays every day.
700 naira.
You are squatting in a hotel now. It's not your house.
Yes, and because she said she wasn't going to come to that hotel.
I told him I won't
except
come.
I go rent a house.
If I go to hotel, people will think I'm,
Then I started giving her the money.
you know,
Okay,
coming
when
from my
I
own
make enough-
background.
If I make enough to rent a house, let's get a house.
Then I can
you-
visit him.
Yes, you keep holding the money.
When it's enough.
And back then, before I got married, I mean, every day I got my pager would beep. There's always one view to be done.
He makes money on daily basis. Then
Rosabel, STB, that one, and they will tell you C&C, cash and carry. You know, so when such cash and carry came, I'll bring it to her to keep. And she keeps a record
I
of
saved up
every
for
penny I
his
gave her.
first- yeah, of course.
That's quite, so
and
I said,
I didn't touch his money at all. So
So
when
this
he now
babe-
said he saw a place and it's close to your shop, I wish I can pay for it. I said, how much? He told me. I brought the book. I called him. I said, you have enough. He said, how do you know? I said, look at it.
Yeah.
He said, you've been writing everything down, even when I'm not around. And my sister is in the house. If case he comes and gives you money, please write it here even before I come. So he was so happy. He said, okay, so that means we can pay. I said, yes. Come and show me the place. I
Yeah.
looked at it. I saw he paid and had enough money to buy a mattress that same day. So I made a mistake of agreeing to sleep in that house that same day. The next morning, my body was all mosquito
Because the
AC hole was open. He didn't have enough money to buy AC. He didn't even have enough money to even cover the AC hole. My body, and when my people saw me, I came home the next day. Wait, were you arrested? Did you sleep in the police in a cell? I said no. Is that my boyfriend I told you about? Then so well. Okay.
What a story!
Yes,
what a
honestly.
beautiful story.
But eventually we moved from that place, you know, not quite 2 years. We moved from there to
A flat.
To a flat, you know, on a Willano Drive.
No drive, yes.
You know, yeah, and
From there to another place, and now
see?
what do you mean? See, what the mosquitoes.
I mean,
I can imagine how many young people will see this and just want to get married.
no, marriage could be fun, honestly. You see,
We're
the thing
sincere
is-
to each other.
the thing
We
is,
try.
there is no recipe for a good marriage. But the thing is, if a man is sincere to his woman, he loves her, he respects her, that respect. But most guys, you know, crave respect.
Yeah.
Most guys have this ego. Because the ego in a guy is something, once you dash that ego, that's a problem. And when a lady recognizes this fact and understands that this guy needs his ego massage at all times, she won't have problem.
You can buy Rob safe.
Exactly. and again, it's not a competition between a man and a woman.
No.
I don't see any form of rivalry. Two of you are a team. You work towards the same cause. So once the man knows this, that this woman's got your back, you are sure, you beat your chest and say, she's got my back. I mean, naturally, it comes first. In your scheme of things, she comes first. And when you treat her that way, she knows that this guy gives her his all. So naturally, she treats you like a king. And you treat her like a queen. So either way, you're both happy. But where there is that, because if you bring your ego to the house, most guys come and flex their ego on their woman, their muscles on the woman. That's where there's a problem. And a woman doesn't understand or is not quite sure how much you earn, then she begins to make requests or demands that you can't meet up with. But when a woman knows how much you earn, you have your cards face up. She can tell, she can't make demands that you don't have, that you can't meet. Because she knows your earning potential. She knows what you earn and all that. And the bank account is a joint account. One can sign. She can go and sign and take money. And it's about discipline. She will not go and draw, know that we have to pay school fees, we have to pay this rent, we have to pay service charge in the estate, all this. So nobody is indisciplined when it comes to finances, and you know how tough it is, for an account to be funded. So naturally, that's, with this on the table, your cards both face up. Honestly, it's going to be a smooth ride. Even your family would come in sometimes, and you know that, look, if you give your family the hand, they would always want to, downplay the importance of your wife. So you have to always stand up for her, and she would always stand up for you too when, you have to deal with her family. I recall when we were about to get married, and, in Igbo family, there are certain things you have to present to the family. They want to see a box of clothes. They want to see all that, during the traditional wedding. And honestly, I didn't have all that. And I'm not used to going to borrow or let people know. I like to cut my coat according to my cloak, So I told her, how are we going to do this thing? I don't have money for all these big boxes they're demanding. She said, don't worry, I'll deal with that. So when they came up with all these demands, she said, they're in Lagos. After all, at the end of this place, we have to now move them to Lagos, right? So I kept everything he brought in Lagos. So they were like, you do sure?
In fact, they're all in a truck.
Yeah, exactly. So she covered up for me. And I really appreciated that, So, and during our wedding, I didn't want to get into any kind of debt at the end of the wedding. I chose a place I could afford, and thank God, as a showbiz person, the Nigerian breweries supplied drinks, because I used to do voice work for some of their brands. So they supplied some of these brands that I used to, do voiceovers for. And our friends were there, JT Tom West, Chidimo Keme, Charles Puta, Charlie Boy, a lot of our friends, were all there. Ramsey, it went very well. And honestly, nobody expected anything. Well, it was quite grandiose because, when showbiz people gather at your event.
The point is that we were not trying to impress anybody.
Exactly.
We did it our way.
We didn't call all that high table where people have
there was no high table at our
wedding. Everybody came and, it was a show person that's in charge here. So, singer Sam Oposo was my best man.
Tenshaw was my best lady.
Chief bridesmaid. So it was just show people, everybody there practically knew everyone there.
And we had our fun.
So it was among friends. So it went very well.
It's always good not to try to impress people, because you impress them, they'll still who cares?
Yeah.
It's about you and your partner.
Your partner should know whatever investment you want to do, you want to make, you need to run it by her, and vice versa. Because when a man takes a decision unilaterally, when things go wrong, the family will suffer.
Yeah.
So it's important that you run things by her. She probably would have better ideas. And when a man is not too, that macho thing, you always have to win. No. Let me hear her idea. That's why sometimes in the class, you see some girls come out even sharper than some guys. So knowing that, having that in mind, run it by her, she can come up with better ideas. And before you know it, it will be better. But if you don't run things by her, when things go wrong, who bears the brunt? The family.
That's why Goge Africa, instead of becoming a radio show, is now a TV show.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame him with a voice like his.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's what you call a radio voice.
I know. I totally understand.
So
I totally understand.
This has been so super enjoyable. And these words of wisdom you've shared about marital life, I'm sure it will inspire young people who will see this podcast.
I hope so.
People are baffled when I tell them, I don't even know how much I have in my accounts.
Exactly.
If you ask me, if you said, Femi, send me your account number, I'll probably have to call my wife to please, which account should we give? What's the account number? Because she runs the account.
Yeah.
And
I can tell your home is at peace.
because she's better than
exactly.
she's better than I'd ever be handling finances. So I really do not know. I don't move around with the token. They are all with her, unless I need to go far. And sometimes I forget to say, please find me one ATM card there. And she just gives me one, whether it's mine, whether it's hers. I don't know which one. And sometimes when I go out and I need to make her like, this ATM. Honey, what's the pin of this?
Exactly.
Yeah, and I just feel, and I'm not saying I'm such a great husband. I just feel, you really moved me when you talked about trust.
Yeah, it's important.
It's important.
The choice of a marital partner is one of the most important decisions you'll ever have to make in your life.
Live with it for life.
You live with it.
That's right.
Unfortunately, today's generation just feels that marriage is something you enter into lightly so that you can get out lightly. It wasn't designed that way.
Well, and enjoy the consequences lightly.
Yeah, heartbreak and all of that.
I think it's for matured people.
It is.
Really. Because marriage,
It is.
you don't get in lightly.
Spiritually and otherwise.
Yes,
That's right.
Even the Bible says you have to be past the bloom of youth
That's right.
before you get married.
And honestly, do a good thing about Nneka here. We travel. He knows I like to have swallow. At least in a week I should. So because we're staying up to 2 weeks and above, he packs some small thing for a egusi soup, crayfish put together here and there.
Because you're my king now. How
And kept
to
somewhere.
massage
And
your
then,
belly.
In between the trips, she decides to, whip up soup and
He's
I'm like,
happier when he
whoa.
eats what he really loves. And for me, I like to be happy. I can't be happy alone. So I need to get him in that same space with me. So I do whatever it takes to do that. If he means packing egusi and obono, the good onubu on a trip, I do it.
So beautiful. Oh, good Lord, look at the time.
Can I go and pick my kids now?
Yes, you can. But just one final question.
Okay.
I mean, you did suggest in what you were saying that you're a Christian,
Yeah, sure.
right? Mm-hmm. You care so much about traditional values. How you married that together, and what do you say about today's era where it has to be one or the other, where people? What would you say to people about your culture, your tradition, and your set of beliefs?
You see, from time immemorial, we all know that there is a God, a superior God. And then Africans came up with, they have their own worship system, but all geared towards that same superior God. And I grew up as a kid, we go to church and all that. And growing up, I discovered that spirituality, Christianity is in the heart, right? You understand that, look, with God, you don't know him all. You cannot understand God in his entirety. He's supreme, right? But I do know that Africans have their own worship system. They worship God. Just like, if you recall, in Benin Republic, during the Voodoo festival, the snake temple, where they worship that deity, the snake, the python as a deity, right? And when Christians came, that they
want to build
a house for their own God. For God. They said, for God, yeah.
The same God we worship up there? They say, yes.
Okay. They give them just opposite the Python temple, and they give them
the church.
And they built a cathedral.
There. And they said to them, you're praying, we're praying.
Exactly.
If God doesn't hear us, he will hear yours.
Exactly.
So let's pray together.
I believe in respecting every mode of worship, as long as it's geared towards the supreme being. So how you talk to your own God is if I learned that talking to God, you have to go to church and pray. And there's always a pastor or a reverend father who leads the procession.
Congregation.
Right. So, and it is about your heart. Now, there are those who believe that they'll have to still pray to God through the deity that they understand, because they grew up
That's what they know.
That's what they know. So you can't criticize it. I don't believe in criticizing any
Other
of the,
people's religion.
Because I don't know why they prefer that. I don't know why they do what they do. But as far as I'm concerned, they're all praying to God, and I have to respect that.
The truth is that you know what you know.
Yeah.
For someone who has never heard of Christianity before, or Islam, or any other religion, but there's a religion that person knows, and that person grew up in that remote part of the world, worshiping God their own way, you can't tell me that person is going to hell.
No way.
That's number one. Number two, even now as we are here, I do not listen to your prayer or how you pray or who you pray to. I actually watch your action, how you deal with other people. That's what tells me if you are a real human being who has the fear of God in you. Fear of God in you is not about whether it's Chi or Chuku or Olodumare or Allah. It is your actions towards humanity that I look out for, not the church you go to.
Because people we have encountered in course of our travels around, I mean, we didn't go asking what religion they
are before they helped us.
Different faiths, and they are kind to you, they're nice to you, they are friendly, they are hospitable. I mean, come on. And that's what humanity is about.
It's about Ubuntu. I've been to South Africa where someone rescued us, supported us. At the end of the day, the person is a Sangoma. I don't even know what Sangoma is until later. Sangoma. The Sangoma is a herbalist or native doctor or something like that. But that person, just like the Good Samaritan, you know, the priest came and passed. But so for me, it's not what you say or how you pray or how many times you fast. It is your action towards humanity that matters.
Yeah.
I believe a person who possesses intellectual honesty is characterized by willingness to criticize or at least critically analyze everything you've always known. And you also need to have a readiness to examine other evidences available.
Okay, yeah.
Only then can you say you possess intellectual
capacity.
Honesty.
Yeah.
And I like what you said about spirituality, the thing of the heart, your relationship. Isaac, Nneka, Moses,
Femi,
Goge Africa.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to love you two forever. Thank you for being on this podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Well done.
Yeah.
Eminko. Yeah.